Excellent. And we are live. Welcome to another Super Galactic Saturday. I'm Jerry Sr. with Jerry Jr.
Good morning.
And we got a special guest today, Seth Engelhardt. And welcome, Seth. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate your time. And I'm glad you can join us today. We were trying to get you on before, but things just didn't line up. But today, everything, all the stars aligned, and you're here. And thank you so much, sir. And you're here primarily. You have a crowdfund going on right now. Correct?
That's right.
Promoting your crowdfund, and you want to tell us about it?
And thanks for having me. Life happens. I'm glad you're able to work around it. I am currently crowdfunding the Crossbones Crew. This is a first issue. As long as there's an audience for it and story ideas for it, it's going to be ongoing. The general idea, I'm a father of 3, and children's entertainment in the past decade has been lacking. And I know my own children were drawn mostly to the sort of stuff I grew up with. If I just hand them the remote, they're watching Justice League. They're watching Gargoyles. You get the idea. So I wanted to create something new that recaptures what the entertainment lost. So to that end, I started creating my own super team. And I started with the public domain character Kid Terror. He was the sidekick to the Black Terror back in the day. A few different people have done books with the Black Terror. Fewer have done anything with Kid Terror. He's going to be the team leader, but then I started coming up with original characters that you'll see later. I did make some changes to his backstory, mostly because there are some weird artifacts from comic book storytelling at that time, like, oh, here's this random kid hanging out at the pharmacy that Bob Benton runs, and now he's Bob's sidekick and just getting dragged all over the world. I mean,
Right.
So instead, they are uncle and nephew.
That was easy.
And also, I decided that there were some time travel pirate stories in the original public domain material. I decided to make those characters their ancestors that inspired the superhero costumes for the World War II. And then he gets pulled to the present day, and that's where he's going to start the Crossbones Crew because he meets other kids with superpowers.
Nice.
So this is going to be telling his ancestor's story. This is going to be telling his origin story and then how he got here.
That's pretty cool. Now, are all the other team members in the Crossbone Crew public domain, or are they all original characters?
I'm going to be using a lot of original characters. There are going to be some public domain characters cropping up, especially in the supporting cast.
Mm-hmm.
But the public domain makes a great starting point. It's not where you want to stay.
Yeah, of course. No, I mean, I think it's cool. I think a lot of public domain characters get underutilized, and I think there's a lot of potential for bringing back a lot of really cool concepts. So I think it's pretty cool.
And very naturally, he's going to be the leader because he's going to be the only one of the kids that has any experience because he was a sidekick.
Right.
Yeah. Very cool. I love it. The art is beautiful. Looks really fun and dynamic.
Now, let me just give a quick list of all the credits. I'm the editor, producer. Everything that's been done so far has come out my own pocket. I have hit the limit of what I can pay for. So to raise the money for the rest of the art, for the lettering, the printing, that's what this campaign is for.
Got it.
But I've got Dave Brink did the script.
Nice.
You might know him from Power Trip, Perfect 10.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting. I know Joel's done a lot of cool things. I really need to start pulling up his list while I'm on these streams. But I've got Joel Souza on the interior art, and he's coloring his own work.
Wow,
Nice.
Really? Okay. That's cool.
Pombo Design did the title logo. Josh Howard did the cover. He colored his own cover with the exception of that box at the top that's red. I asked him to leave me a spot that I can just give a solid color and put the title on like the old comics that the Kid Terror came from. He did that.
Cool.
So yeah, that's the team so far, and Rick Joseph will be lettering.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm familiar with Dave Brake and love his stuff. It seems like a great guy too. So yeah, you got a nice team going, man. This looks amazing. This looks really clean, really fun, and I hope you reach your goal. So I'll definitely be supporting it myself. So
yeah,
awesome.
The campaign itself is pretty simple. I've got 2 covers. I've got a tier that gets you both of them, and all the tiers have digital as well as a digital only tier. Stretch goals will be announced after we hit the main goal.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, it sounds beautiful. Man, I love this. And same type of motivation with our stuff is, growing up and really for me, for sure, I grew up in the 70s and 80s and into the 90s. And so, I had Super Friends and all that stuff, And then when he was growing up with his brother, they had Justice League. We used to sit and watch Justice League. That was a thing for us as a family. We would sit down and watch it together. So much fun. And it was great having shows like that to watch, Superman animated series and even Batman. It was an awesome time to, of television, animation, fun. And you're right. I didn't have to worry about them seeing something they shouldn't see or experience something they shouldn't experience, and watching stuff that's aspirational and inspirational.
Not only that, but it provided an adventure. Yes, there were lessons in a few of the episodes, but it wasn't not trying to give you just this hard agenda every single episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Adventure is entertainment, first and foremost.
Yeah, and it was. And it was fun. We kind of forgot about that aspect. It was fun. It was fun to watch. It was exciting to watch. And it didn't feel heavy or burdensome. It was just like, hey, let's tune in and let's just catch another adventure and, call it a night. And so this harkens back to that very well. Visually, it just looks really cool and really fun. So, man, I love it. That resonates with me quite a bit. So I can't wait. I hope you hit your goal. I hope you hit it soon so you can get to your stretch goals for sure. That'll be even better. So I'll definitely be supporting this though because it looks amazing. So very cool, very nice, and we need more. We need more of this. So it's like for me, it's like if it's something that just looks cool and fun and simple, and it's something that just feels right. I'm gonna jump in. So it needs to be supported. We need more of this. And especially nowadays.
One of the things I like with comics as opposed to a lot of other products is, yes, there's competition, but it's not doesn't have to be cutthroat because you don't have to be somebody's number one pick. They're not going to buy just one comic. I just got to crack top 10 or top 5.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, that's true for
the pie is not limited, right? It's infinite slices. Right? So
I mean, that's true for comic books, especially, but also like video games, TV shows, stuff like that. Just because I'm watching one thing doesn't mean I'm not watching this other thing, right?
Right, exactly.
I don't just read one comic book or one manga. I'm reading, a mix of a bunch of stuff. So because I growing up, I had my dad's Superman and Spider-Man comics. But then when I had money to collect my own stuff, I started reading the old Archie Sonic comics. I started reading, Full Metal Alchemist. I started reading. There was a manga based off of Kingdom Hearts I was reading a bunch of. I was reading a variety of stuff. It wasn't just one thing. So,
Yeah.
you know, you gotta, you know, people are multifaceted. You know, it's not just reading one thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's never, that's one thing, mistake that I think even I made when I first started was thinking that the audience only wants one thing and one, because you see popular titles continue, right? So you think everyone just wants that, and it's like that's just not true. Yes, they a lot of people want that, but they also want what you have, right? They just want something that they see that is good and that inspires and moves them, so they want to engage it, and they're not limiting themselves to just that one thing. That's
Now, if
just
it's
not
opportunity for
how
cross promotion, so yeah, I could sit here. I could talk about things I'm reading or creators I like. I could talk about Brian Baud, Pixel Trader, Von Klaus, and yeah, people will go check them out, but doesn't necessarily take sales away from me.
exactly.
No.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And yeah, that's why you're here, because we're like, yeah, we want to expose the world and whoever's watching to other creators, and to know that there's so much out there. And for me, it's like every so often I try to promote like YouTube channels where you have a lot of some indie animators, because I'm really big on animation. I love animation, and so I try to promote those channels where guys are like doing fan made stuff, and because it's fun and it's nice to see real passion going into these projects, and something we're not really seeing in the mainstream, unfortunately.
And right now, we're starting to get spoiled with any indie animation pilots coming up. And I know
Yeah,
Professor Murph from Rampart Press, he's crowdfunding an animated series right now.
Oh, really?
yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot. Yeah, there's so much going on, and it's like, man, listen, spoilers, man. Like, let us get spoiled. It's because the more the better, the more the merrier. And
The
it's exciting.
Planetonica pilot dropped. So did the what was it? Gameoverse, which is a remake of an old Newgrounds series.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I remember Newgrounds. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I've been
there were a bunch of shorts. The original creator from that got involved with Glitch. And
Yeah, Glitch has been growing like
Yeah.
gangbusters over the last year or so. It's a lot going on, man, and in the independent space. So it's like there's so much there. It's a rich playground. So I'm excited. Exciting time. So yeah, you're right. And there's so much, and there's something for everyone. Like plain and simple. And the key is discoverability. But thanks to social media, it's a little easier to discover new stuff if you're willing to look for it. It's there, and it'll appear in your feed whether you like it or not. You're going to see something. And it's nice. It's very nice to see. So yeah. But the Crossbones crew, it's going on right now. Campaign's live.
And it's
Support
only
them.
on Fund My Comic. I don't want to have to keep track of too
Oh
many
yeah,
different things. Yeah.
very important. Yeah, it's on fundmycomic.com. Yeah, so definitely check them out, and go to fundmycomic.com. Find their campaign, Crossbones Crew Issue 1, Seth Engelhardt, and show them some love, man. Let's get this stuff made. Let's get it made and get it out there, because there's never too much of this. Like, never too much. Like, we want fun. We want fun comics, great art, something that's kind of all ages. We want it. We need it. I mean, more than ever, because I think we're kind of in this cynical world. So we need something that breaks through that cynicism, and this is one of those things that'll do it. So let's get it made. Let's get it done. So yeah, man. Thanks, Seth, for joining us, man, and thanks for sharing your campaign. We appreciate it. And I don't know if you want to stick around longer. Feel free to stick around.
Oh, of course.
And, interject. As long as you can stay, we'll love it. So, but I know Jerry, you wanted to talk about the composer for Lupin the Third, right? And his
Oh
legacy.
yes. Well, yeah. Well, I just wanted to, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you're familiar with Lupin, Dad, but
Of course, yeah.
But yeah, the composer. And for the record, he's a really famous jazz composer. He's not. It's not just Lupin the Third that he's worked on. The guy's like you can compare him to like John Williams or Henry Mancini or something like that.
Yeah.
He's done music for a whole bunch of movies and TV shows in Japan. Obviously, most of it is Lupin, but like there's also a lot of he's worked with a lot of very famous musicians. Like I'm on Discogs right now. He's got about 680 music credits to his name. Some of the movies. I mean, we've seen some of the movies he's worked on. Remember the Japanese crime film we talked about, Proof of the Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did the soundtrack to that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that's cool.
He actually, I just actually learned this today. He did music for the Mighty Orbots. I don't know if you guys remember.
Oh my God,
that's old.
Yo,
yeah,
that used to be my favorite show.
That's older than me, I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
Man.
But yeah, he worked on He did music for Mighty Orbots, which is crazy. I didn't even know that.
Mighty Orbots.
Yeah. He did another famous movie he worked on was it was a mystery crime drama called The Inugami Curse. It's a really famous horror film.
Yeah.
The book it's based off of was like the Japanese equivalent of like Sherlock Holmes.
Nice.
But yeah, he's worked on a lot of stuff, and his music is top notch. It's some of the best jazz you'll ever hear. I mean, if you've watched Lupin, you could pick any Lupin movie.
Yeah, there's going to be some.
The music is perfect.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like they've remixed the Lupin the 13th theme like 100 times already, and it's never gotten old. But
this is true.
He does have other stuff, so go check out Yuji Ohno and his music. I mean, it's all over YouTube. It's everywhere, and go check out some of his other film and TV projects too. Like I said, I personally recommend Proof of the Man. It's a really great crime drama.
Yeah, listen,
starring
is
one of the things I like about that's one of the things I like about Japan is they will take something that we've started and they'll refine it.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah.
It definitely feels that way.
That happens with the West and Japan. It's fascinating, but that movie, we kind of talked about. We reviewed it a bit. And, man,
we did.
It's a great movie. Yeah, it really is.
It's
not what you expect. It has a hell of a twist. So.
Yeah, and it's pretty. It's a pretty.
Uh-oh, you're freezing up.
Yeah, kind of froze there.
Uh-oh. Yeah, he's always having some speed issues over there. So yeah, but it's a great movie, and it's a beautiful, bittersweet ending. So unfortunately, did you jump in again? Oh, yeah, he did. Okay.
Yeah, they're trying to keep me from spreading the word. But
yeah, this is his twin, you guys.
No, it's not.
The dark family secret is a twin. No,
my internet just sucks. But yeah, it's a really great movie, and it's got a lot of star power. I don't know if you remember Seth George Kennedy from Naked Gun. He's one of the protagonists in it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And he's playing it straight. It's not comedy.
Yeah, he plays it straight. Yeah. It's got Toshiro Mifune in there. from Yojimbo. He's got Yusaku Matsuda. He's a really famous action guy. He was actually the inspiration for Spike for Cowboy Bebop. Broderick Crawford's in there. William Sanderson's in the movie, and I think the mom from Good Times is in there at some point. Robert Earl Jones is in there. James Earl Jones' dad's in there.
Yeah, that's right. Where's she? I don't remember. Yeah, that's.
Teresa Merritt. Oh no, she's from
No, that's not.
Teresa Merritt's from. She's from. Like she's from. I know her from The Wiz, but she's from That's My Mama. There we go.
Oh, that's what you think of. Okay, That's My Mama.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Right. She is it. That's right.
But yeah, it's got a star-studded cast on both coasts. It's crazy.
And it goes. Yeah, they go across the. It starts in.
Can you pull up the movie, Dad? The movie poster.
Yeah. What's that?
Can you pull up the movie poster?
I don't know. Let's see if I can find something.
Just type in "Proof of the Man" 1977. This is probably gonna be the. But yeah, check out the movie, Seth. And like I said, Yuji Ohno does the soundtrack, so it's it's two cops, kicking ass to smooth jazz, funky car chases, stuff like that. It's the 70s, so.
Yes, it's a 70s movie. It's really good. I mean, it's kind of unfortunate that it seems so underrated, but it's a very good movie.
I'm pretty sure it's a very famous movie over here or in Japan.
Maybe
because, like I say, it's got Yusaku Matsuda in it. He was a huge actor. It's got Joe Yamanaka in there. He was a big music artist in Japan. He had his own rock band. He was famous for actually being the frontman for the Wailers after Bob Marley died, because he was good friend with Bob Marley. So yeah, it's all. This movie has crazy lore. Go watch it. Proof of the Man.
And apparently, it's available on Blu-ray on Amazon. So.
Oh yeah.
Get a Blu-ray. Maybe I'll get a Blu-ray.
Yeah, get the movie and also get the soundtrack. The soundtrack is awesome. Like I said, it's Yuji Ohno. He's a great composer. Anything with his name on it is gonna be awesome. So, yeah.
Pretty cool.
Rest in peace, Yuji Ohno. Go check out his music.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. Check out this movie, Proof of the Man. Very good.
Yeah, but also, the soundtrack to Cowboy Bebop. They probably did take inspiration from Yuji Ohno. The composer for the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack, his name is Yoko Kanno. He's also, she's also a composer as well. She does a lot of jazz and stuff like that.
Yeah.
She also did music for Ghost in the Shell, if you ever seen Ghost in the Shell. So, and she also has a band called the Seatbelts, which they blend a lot of jazz and funk and electronic music. So, it's definitely its own thing.
Yeah. It seems like there's been a lot of deaths. Voice actors, etc. English and Japanese.
Really?
Last year, yeah. It seems like I've been seeing a lot of that. I guess many of them obviously aging out, and then,
I know I've seen a couple, but no one in particular comes to mind.
I've seen quite a few. Yeah, like it's been quite a few. It seems like it's becoming kind of a regular thing. Like every month, there's one or two that gets announced that they've passed away. But yeah, such is life. I mean, so rest in peace. He's a great composer. Wonderful. But yeah, was there something else you wanted to bring up? think there was another thing.
Oh yeah, well this is a trailer that we should have talked about like weeks ago because it's a big deal. I mean, I don't need to. I mean, we all know what who Wile E. Coyote is, but
Okay.
back in I forgot when they announced it, but a few years ago, they were working on
Yeah, it's had
Wile E.
some
Coyote movie.
Coyote versus Acme.
Yeah,
had
and it
some
was a
issues,
movie.
right?
Well, here's the thing: they Warner Brothers tried to cancel the movie and shelve it.
Yeah,
But
not just this one, but there was another one too.
Oh, there were quite a few that Warner Brothers
Yeah.
shelved. This was one of the few that came back from that.
Yeah. Like there's been some issues with Looney Tunes movies, the properties, for some reason, and they don't want to release these films.
Now, it should be noted that the distributor that picked this up, Ketchup Entertainment, also picked up The Day the Earth Blew Up, which was another Looney Tunes film that came out.
That did get released, though, right?
Yes, through Ketchup.
But I don't think it, did the numbers, box office wise, right? For what I understand. So.
Yeah, but it's still pretty good. I saw it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to. It's been hard for me to get out to the movies for some reason.
That one I caught streaming.
Okay.
I caught one movie this year so far in theaters.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I've been to. Last movie we saw, man, I can't even remember. It's been a while. I went to see Wicked. Took my wife, and it was okay. As much flack as they got for the main actresses, right? They're as weird as they are, and they are weird. The movies were okay. The first one was entertaining for sure. I mean, they're incredibly talented. They're singing. It's beautiful. The second one wasn't as good. It felt rushed, and it didn't really make a lot of sense.
The second of which one?
We're talking about Wicked. I was just talking about the last thing I saw in the theaters. And I think it was the Wicked movie.
Oh,
the second one. So I don't think there was anything after that, was it? So because we usually go together. So.
When I took my family to the local Regal to go see the Super Mario Galaxy movie this past year,
that's what it was. Yeah,
that's the only one I've caught in theaters this year.
That's the last one I saw. Yeah.
Ours is undergoing renovations. I'm loving the renovations. They decided, well, we've been having trouble filling the seats, so we don't need to try to max out the capacity of each theater because that's no good if you can't fill it.
Mm.
So instead, they're putting in the recliners and they're going for luxury over quantity.
Oh, I like that.
I mean, a lot of theaters are doing that.
Recline and kind of relax. There's a couple out here I would like to for that reason. They're very comfortable. Sometimes a little too comfortable. You might end up falling asleep and catching a snore.
You're all the way reclined. The room goes dark for the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you've already had a big thing of popcorn or something. So, but yeah, that's what it was. It was a Super Mario movie, the second one that we went to see, and that was okay. Yeah, it was fun. It wasn't anything to write home about, so to speak. So.
Yeah, but this movie, it went through development hell. Long story short, and Warner Brothers tried to cancel it, and they did the same thing with the last Looney Tunes movie, where it almost got canceled, and then it got released.
Yeah.
But The Day the Earth Blew Up is what it was called.
Yeah, we just
starring Daffy and Porky. Yeah, and
but the question is why are they holding these things? Why A, they produce them, and B, why not release them? And
I don't know. I think some people theorize.
That's what I was gonna say. I think part of the problem is maybe they realize it's not gonna make money, not as much money.
Hollywood accounting is a strange thing to begin with, and the tax write-offs.
Yeah.
I can't make.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I think it's the equivalent of burning down your own building for the insurance type of deal. Because otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Because like they put, I don't know, I think for some reason they don't think that people don't care about the Looney Tunes, even though they're still super relevant, especially online. You know, people
Yeah,
are
they
still
are.
watching old
But
Looney Tunes
what I was going to say,
shows.
the older stuff is relevant. The older
Yeah,
stuff is what people are, right? Like even me, I've pulled up a playlist of like Bugs Bunny, versus Elmer Fudd or something, and just watch it and just relax because it's hilarious and and it's like, but I'm not pulling up Tiny Toons and
well,
I'm not pulling up the Tiny Toons remake either, right?
I mean,
You
even that's
understand?
pretty
And
old,
I
but
think
yeah,
that's the problem is they're trying to update Looney Tunes, and they weren't meant to be updated. They were meant to be what they are, what they always been. And also, you're trying to update it in a way that placates current day sensibilities. And when you watch like a lot of the classic Bugs Bunny, even just classic Warner Brothers animation, a lot of it was quite irreverent and poked fun at a lot of aspects of Hollywood and Hollywood culture. Like nothing was sacred, you know. And they've long since censored a lot of that stuff, right?
yeah.
But they were quite offensive to someone who, especially if you're not familiar with the times that they were made in, you might go, wait a minute, how could they get away with saying that or doing that? But not realizing that was a current day commentary at the time, right?
And one of the
So
things that allowed them to take that risk is they were considered disposable. You get
yeah,
two shorts in
exactly right.
newsreel, and those shorts weren't ever expected to play again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a very good point. Animation was viewed very differently at the time. It kind of like similar to comics where it was something you read and you just toss it in the trash.
So
That
yeah,
was
you
the
did take
comic
a misstep. You
mindset.
just
Yeah.
oh, pretend it never happened and create
Yeah,
something
exactly. It
new.
was just it's a gag. It's a gag meant to be enjoyed for a brief time, and you move on. It's not something that's going to be preserved or seen as historical or significant. And lo and behold, it is right. It's exactly
Yeah.
what they didn't expect to be. For comics and for animation. So, and
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of it. And it's like, what do you do? Now, they've done some fun things. I think it was in the 90s. They did some movies with Looney Tunes, right? And they did
I mean, they
okay.
did Space Jam. That's all I can really think
Yeah, the
of.
Space Jam was great. The Michael Jordan. The one with LeBron James was in my opinion, was awful. I didn't like
Well,
it.
yeah,
Well,
you
that's a
didn't. They didn't need
self-pleasure
to remake
vanity
Space
project
Jam.
on his part.
Like I might offend some people, but I think LeBron James is over. So he's and I don't mean as a basketball player. He seems like a solid player. I just mean as a personality. Like Michael Jordan was not only a great basketball player, but he was also a very likable personality, at least in front of the camera. Like, behind the scenes, I've heard stories where, oh, he's a jerk and this and that. Okay, but his public persona, he's a likable guy. And
Well,
that goes a long way if you're going to make a movie where he's the star, right?
Yeah.
having lived in Akron, where LeBron came from, and seeing his rise from the beginning, he's a victim of early success. He was
Yeah,
on the news in high school. He got recruited,
yeah,
not out
that's
of
true.
college basketball, but out of high school.
Out of high
And
school.
its first year, boom, headliner.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a good point. And that's what I'm saying. I just don't think he presents himself, and maybe he's trying to change that, but I don't think he's done a good job of presenting himself as a likable person, and that goes a long way. Like just be likable. It sounds simple, but it's not. Sometimes for some reason, some people don't give off that impression, even if they are very likable. Like in real life, if we were to meet him, and I'm sure he's a very likable person. Like have a conversation and go, "Oh, he's a nice guy," right? But when it comes to media and how you present it, You know, like you look at Kobe. Kobe wasn't seen as that likable at first, but over time, they were able to kind of create a persona of him that was likable. You know,
It
and
seems like with fame, you have the fame portion and you have the learning portion, and one of those is going to hit early, and whichever one
yeah,
doesn't hit early is the one you're trying to catch up on later.
yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah,
Between the two,
I
I'd
think that's
rather
the case. Yeah,
struggle and work my way up to the fame portion, having learned the lessons before the spotlight's on.
yeah, and knowing how to present yourself. Yeah, and that because you mentioned LeBron's, but it's very similar to Kobe as well. I think he was recruited out of high school. That was controversial, and that was, who is this kid? Who do you think he is? You know, and like I said, he wasn't exactly that likable initially as well. So, but eventually he did come out of it. And I think with LeBron, it's like, I don't know. It seems like he's not coming out of it uh, in the same way, or at least as quickly as Kobe did. You know, I don't know. It's very mixed though. Like, just go to a barbershop and mention LeBron James.
Oh,
you're gonna get you're gonna get it good, like from everyone, every opinion. It's never gonna be complete. Like if you go into a barbershop and mention Michael Jordan, you'll get a virtually unanimous response of like the GOAT. Right? Now some
I'm
might try to
actually curious
contend.
what the barbershop conversation in Akron about LeBron would be compared to the barbershop conversation in Chicago about Michael.
or
Yeah,
L.A.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. So it's kind of fascinating. But getting back to Looney Tunes, right?
yeah.
Like I think personally, I don't think they know what to do with them. And I think had they followed through with releasing them on a normal schedule, I think like the day the Earth blew up, I think that would have did way better. I think it would have been successful, but because it lingered and there was like it's coming and then it's not coming out, and then it's and finally gets picked up. I think the momentum was lost, and then there really wasn't a very strong marketing campaign behind it either.
No, there wasn't. Well, the difference between the other movie and the Coyote versus Acme is it received a lot of strong backlash from not just the general public. Some politicians got involved. Um, a lot of the cast and crew were like, "Hey, Warner Brothers, you got to release this movie." Like like everybody was like, we want to see this movie come out. And so finally, because people for a good couple of years were under the impression that they deleted the movie, and so it wasn't going to come out. But now we have
Yeah,
a trailer, so now we get to see what the big commotion was about. Because this almost became lost media,
And
basically.
what's interesting now and would not have been considered interesting even a couple decades ago is the fact that this is one of those things. It didn't matter what side of the political aisle you were on, you wanted to see this come out. And
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't like Looney Tunes? You know,
it's this uniting thing you don't
yeah,
normally
yeah,
I
see.
agree. Yeah, it's
absolutely.
that's what makes it so odd and silly. It's like, come on, guys, it's Looney Tunes. What are we afraid of here? Like, like at this point in time, we've all seen a good, at least people my age, we've seen the body of work from Warner Brothers. We've seen the questionable stuff as well as the fun and objectively good stuff. Right? And we're fine. We're, you know, and now like what the Looney Tunes you're seeing today are just so watered down from what they were, when I was a kid, and even my father was younger, right? Like my father was a big fan of Looney Tunes,
He loved
specifically,
Roadrunner.
yeah,
Yeah.
The Roadrunner segments, Wile E. Coyote.
Hmm.
Like that was the only time I would hear my father laugh was on Saturday mornings watching the Roadrunner show. that's that's how much of a fan. Because other than that, he's just working doing his thing. But Saturday mornings, I would get up and I would hear this huge boisterous, laughing coming from his den, and I would go in there and like, yep, and I would just sit down and watch with him, laugh with him. It was fun. So, but yeah, it's like this point, like, you're doing, what is it, Coyote versus Acme, and it's a court drama, it's so far removed from.
Well, here's the thing. This is actually based off of what's the thing? This is actually based off of a story that was written back in the day. Coyote, I think it was written back in the 80s or the 90s or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was supposed to be a satire, basically.
Yeah.
On the whole Wile E. Coyote thing, because none of the Acme
gadgets work. Right? They're always
that was a joke.
Right? Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's actually quite brilliant. So, but that's what I mean. It's like, come on, let's just put it out there, have fun. But because it's, I don't know, it's sort of chained
it was a book that came out in the 90s.
Corporate drama. I think that just removes all the momentum and the excitement that would otherwise be there. And it's unfortunate. So, I'm sorry, Seth. Could you say it again? I missed what you said. Sorry. Were you saying something, Seth?
No.
Oh, okay. I apologize. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna play the trailer.
Yes.
See what we're missing, I guess. If I can find the right thing. Here it is.
Have you been horribly injured by a product made by the Acme Corporation?
It's not your fault. There's probably someone to blame.
Name of the case is Coyote versus Acme.
Wile E. Coyote. He is reckless. We all know who's responsible, and all of his injuries are self-inflicted.
You've been settling Acme cases for years.
I could probably get you $250 for that.
This is your opportunity to really show people what you're capable of.
These companies think they can do whatever they want. We're sick of it.
Acme, act you!
Nothing to see here.
We really have nothing.
We both know it would be very unpleasant if anything bigger were to become public.
So, what is up, Doc?
The Acme Corporation is releasing this film for accounting purposes only. We do not condone any of the storylines depicted.
That's a bit ironic.
Yeah.
I mean, there's this corporate announcement saying
I wonder if see, it's not just me, but I wonder if how self-aware they are. But yeah, what do you think, Seth? Are you excited?
I'm looking forward to this one. It's looking good. There are very few movies that pull off the live-action animation combo as well as Roger Rabbit did. This looks like it's going to be one of them.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it looks good. We'll see. I hope it does well. I mean, it'll be nice. It looks like it's just a fun movie. Clever concept and great visuals. So it's like, what's with all the corporate interference and drama and delays? And it just doesn't make any sense.
I have a feeling. The script may have hit too close to home for Warner Brothers. So.
Maybe. I mean, that's a good point. That's fair. Perhaps that's what it is. Because, like I said, that last little bit is like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
The marketing campaign Ketchup put together for this release is just brilliant. You should see some of the stuff they put up on X.
Oh man, I gotta check it out. Yeah, because it's like I don't know. We'll see it, but yeah, I just might go see that. That looked pretty fun. So, yeah, but yeah, hopefully they'll market the heck out of it and get it made, you know, and I mean get it released and be done with it. What was the release date? I didn't catch it. Did you see it?
I think it's supposed to come out sometime in August 28th.
August. Okay. All right. So yeah, hopefully.
So that's good. I mean, the movie's been pretty much done for years. So I mean, it's about
August 20th.
About time.
I know. Yeah, it's about time. So it's well overdue. But I hope it does better than the previous one. So we'll see. But yeah. But yeah, cool. You know, listen, Looney Tunes. It's like the Muppets, right? Everybody loves the Muppets, but they haven't been handled very well over the years by their corporate owners. So
yeah,
it's been a bit lackluster, unfortunately. So hopefully, with catch up, you know, maybe they'll change that. Maybe they'll get a hold of some of the Muppet stuff too. That'd be nice.
One thing I saw about that new Muppets ride that they're doing for Disney actually was pretty interesting.
Oh,
they put a motion cap suit on Scooter and operate him normally to get motion capture of an actual person operating that Muppet, and then use that to control the animatronic version.
Interesting.
So he looks. And if you see the end result, he looks and acts much more natural than the animatronics you usually see.
That's interesting. Okay, that's pretty fascinating. All right, so I mean that means they're making the effort to give us something authentic, right? So
that's pretty interesting. So it's an
animatronic show was pretty good.
So it's an animatronic puppet controlling the actual animatronic basically.
Basically, the Brides is obviously going to use animatronics, but instead of inputting the controls the way they normally do, they decided, all right, let's take the motion capture technology that we use for computer animation and use it for the animatronic so that we get more natural movements out.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty similar to because I was an intern at Jim Henson a few years ago, and they did a similar process for a show that they were filming called Splash and Bubbles, where it was for PBS Kids, but where they had essentially like animatronic puppets that they mapped 3D models on. So it was like, on stage you're seeing like this like metal hand basically. But then the 3D animators could map an actual character on it, so it was like almost like a 3D puppet. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah,
that's fascinating. I mean, so it gives it a more natural movement, more authentic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. But yeah, I heard the Muppet show that they did, the remake, was actually pretty good. So I've yet to see it because I didn't have Disney Plus. So
I mean, I don't think it's worth it just for that.
So
yeah, I dropped Disney Plus shortly before that had come out, and it wasn't enough to make me come back, but made me go, oh, I hoped I get to see that before letting it go.
Yeah, I'm the same. Exactly. So
the Electric Mayhem series that they did wasn't bad.
They did an Electric Mayhem series?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they came out with an Electric Mayhem album, the band's first album, finally, and then the series was about the making. Apparently, this one woman goes to work at a record label that is just hanging by a last thread, only to find out, hey, there's a still valid contract for the Electric Mayhem's first album. Maybe if we can actually get them to fulfill their end of the contract, we could save the company. And she starts hurting cats. She starts getting the Electric Mayhem because they've become popular again from nostalgia and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
to try and get them to finally release that album.
Huh, that's interesting. Okay,
Yeah,
it's
I
coming
gotta
out
go
in
check it out.
2023. I didn't know that.
I gotta go check it out. Yeah, I remember something about that. I think I saw some kind of clip or something. But like I said, I had to kind of dismiss Disney Plus. Like, I don't know. But yeah, I'll check out both and see. But I heard the Muppet Show was good, which was, it's nice to hear. It used to be one of my favorite shows as a kid. So hopefully I don't know if it's still going on or if it was just a one-time, thing. So we'll see. But yeah, I need to check that out and see. Hopefully it is good. So, but I haven't heard anything negative about it. So, even though what's his name, Seth Green, right?
Seth Rogen, you mean?
Seth Rogen, yeah. I always say Seth Green. I don't know.
Why do you keep saying they don't look the same?
I thought they don't. Right?
What's funny is almost no one got my name right as a kid. They'd say Sean, Beth, what things like that. It's like, that's not my name. Then I grow up, you get Seth Rogen, Seth Green, Seth Meyers. Suddenly everybody can pronounce Seth.
Yeah,
And it's never that hard.
It was never that hard.
Yeah, for me, it's
all you needed was clout.
Easy. It's the last names I get mixed around.
Yeah.
Now I got another Seth on my list here. So.
Yeah, all right. All you needed was Klaus, Seth, and then you were all good. That's ridiculous.
But yeah, I heard it was good despite him being part of it. So, which I don't know, he's okay sometimes. We'll see. But
it depends on what director you pair him with.
Yeah, I agree. So, but yeah, I put the Odyssey in the headline because it's been doing the rounds this week. There's all these things that come out about Christopher Nolan's choices in casting and different things and historical accuracy versus not. And I thought it'd be interesting to bring it up, but I'll be honest. Hearing these things, like some is true. There's others that's not confirmed, and I doubt if it is true. Like there's I guess a rumor or something about I forgot her name from the Umbrella Academy. What was her name? She transitioned from female to male.
Oh, Elliot.
Elliot Page.
Page.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, apparently she's supposed to play Achilles. So I figure this is just a meme and a running gag, just making fun of the whole idea of swapping characters and gender swapping. There's been a lot of AI videos made with it, which I'm kind of tired of seeing, even though they are funny. But it's like, but it kind of lends itself to this kind of mockery because it happens so often and it's so arbitrary. There's no rhyme or reason behind it. And it is a lot of it is clearly just virtue signaling, to these special groups or whatever, who, for the most part, have shown that they don't support these properties, right? Because many of them end up bombing in the box office. They don't make money, So it's very strange and very odd, and a bit surprising that Christopher Nolan would go in that direction. So,
I guess. I don't.
Well, some say it's because of the requirements for the I guess the Oscars or whatever, the Academy Awards.
That's kind of what I figured was happening. So,
but okay, let's say it's that reason, and the movie comes out and it gets nominated. Like, for what end? Like, what credibility does the Academy really have anymore at this stage? And I mean, in the eyes of the general public,
Right, but they obviously don't care about the general public. They just care about
Yeah, and that's kind of the direction I'm going. It's like you're trying to placate these very arbitrary rules. That's if that is his goal. Which, the fact that I don't think we've ever seen him do this before. That's, to me, is the logical conclusion. And
it's really an award as to who can play ball the best.
Yeah, but he has a lot of clout. I mean, he has a lot of successful movies under his belt. I mean, there's no reason that he would need to placate anyone, at all. He has a lot of leverage, right? So it's kind of like, what's going on here? Like, to me, and I've made this point before, that a lot of this stuff it's not incidental or accidental. It's purposeful, and it's done with a specific goal in mind and a meaning behind it by certain individuals. Now, there's some who are true believers, right? Like, they just believe in diversity. They believe in it. They're there. They're not looking at their agenda is pretty much that.
Well, there's also
then there's those who are in the upper echelon who are funding a lot of stuff, who are pushing these things from the top down, and their agenda, in my opinion, is far more nefarious. Right? It has nothing to do with favoring certain groups. It has more to do with sort of what these actions do to what we know and understand as traditional values in relation to this country.
There's also a lot of people who don't realize that diversity here in 2020 does not mean what diversity meant in the 90s. In the 90s, it was about removing artificial barriers and just treating everybody under the same set of rules, the same criteria, and let people land wherever they earn themselves. Exactly. But now it's all about preferential treatment.
Right. It was, in fact, removing preferential treatment. That was the whole point. Get rid of any, perceived or real preferential treatment in the process so that everyone has a fair shot, regardless of who they were, what their background was, or even their political beliefs. It's just merit. If you're good, you're good, and you'll be rewarded for being good. Versus, and I'm sure there are many over the years, who can say, I went into the process and I was not rewarded for my hard work, which was objectively good, because I was a woman, or I was black, or I was, or it wasn't in the so-called club, whatever that club is, right? And it's like, that's unfair, right? So you want to remove that unfairness. And so that was removed for all intents and purposes, right? You just, like you mentioned, the 90s, just go to the 90s, look at what we had, all the TV shows and movies, and it was incredibly diverse, even up until early to mid 2000s, right? We had diversity. We had, black leads and female leads.
All right, I'm back.
Congratulations, Seth. You're officially part of the Bad Internet Club.
I know, that makes three.
Disconnected.
That's all right. That's all right.
But you make a good point, Seth. It's like it was already. It's almost like we arrived, right? Once you look at, I would say all the way into the early 2000s, right? Like even somewhere mid, like up to like 2010 or so, we arrived. We were there, and then somebody said, "Not so fast," and started rewinding everything. And that's kind of what we are. It's like,
even without
what was already accomplished.
Yeah. Even without all the casting controversy, it doesn't. I'm in no way interested in watching Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, because he doesn't put any effort into making it feel like an Odyssey. It just feels like a generic fantasy. It just feels like a generic fantasy movie with Batman in it, and really dated, like, Zoomer dialogue. Like, at one, I don't know if you actually saw the trailer, but at one point, the suitors are talking to Odysseus' son, and they're like, "Oh, your daddy's not coming home." I'm like, why are you saying daddy? This is ancient Greek or Greece, whatever. It's like, it just feels super hokey and corny.
Say daddy in during that time.
No,
Say,
it just feels so unnecessarily try hard. Like it feels like I don't know.
Well, I'll put it this way: I don't have a problem with what the term updating for modern artists work. I would say
I
if
do.
that's his goal, well, no, hear me out. If that's his goal, is to say, well, I'm trying to update this story so it's more relatable or relative to today. Okay, then I think as a rule, as a best practice, then you have to bring it out of the past and into a current modern day context. Meaning, don't do ancient Greece and ancient Rome and the Mediterranean. Like you're gonna do modern day big city Western society, and you're going to layer the Odyssey tropes and dynamic on top of that. Right.
I've seen two
that
very
way
good
now you can
examples of
update
what you're
language
talking
and
about.
things
Yeah.
like that. Right?
Oh, really?
Sorry, go ahead, Seth.
Yeah, I've seen two very good examples of what you're talking about, both with Shakespeare. There was a production of Macbeth that had Patrick Stewart in it, and he was playing a more modern general, complete with the olive drab military uniform and all that, in a European nation, so that there's still a king to deal with, and then there's Much Ado About Nothing.
That's right.
With Joss Whedon and a lot of the actors he works with. Yeah, that was more of a modern setting as well. You had cars, you had limousines.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's
they
great.
did the same thing with the
That's been done for so long.
Yeah, the Warriors. The Warriors movie was, or the book, I should say, was a retelling of Xenophon's Anabasis, which is a story about the 10,000 Greek mercenaries hired by Cyrus to help him seize Persia and stuff like that. So I mean, people have done that before, but that's not what he's. That's not what he's trying. Clearly,
I know, but that's the point I'm making. It's like if that's because he stated this in regards to he cast a rapper. I forgot his name.
Travis Scott.
Yeah, Travis Scott, because because oral history and rap have some kind of parallel, which is like, okay, that's a kind of a very loose, you're kind of pushing a little bit, because that would apply to most music, not just rap, right? Like, not to mention modern poetry, so you're kind of ignoring all that as well. So it's kind of odd. And then Travis Scott isn't exactly a paragon of, modern oral, right? Like, wouldn't you choose someone who's seen more as a representation of like the epitome of? Which it's not Travis Scott. I can tell you that right now. It's not. Like LL Cool J would be a better option. Like he's more of a paragon. Like you understand, Grandmaster Flash. Like if you're really serious about that, right? That's the point I'm making. If that's a real defense of your choice, then you would choose someone who represents that quite better than Travis Scott. So it's like, and that's kind of what I'm saying. It's like if you're gonna do it, go all the way, and or even futurize it. Now we're in the future. It's flying cars and whatnot, but still the same themes and subtext. Right? So
yeah, if you think
it's not doing that, then it's like, what are you doing?
If you think of the original setting is a barrier between the present day audience and trying to understand it, recontextualizing it in a modern or fantasy or futuristic setting is a great way to go. But either you're going for historic accuracy or you're not. You can't go, oh, well, I'm doing this to be historically accurate, but forget historical accuracy over here.
Yeah, exactly. It's just inconsistent, right? And you're kind of dismantling your own project by doing it. Right? And if the name Christopher Nolan wasn't attached to it, it would be far even more harsh on someone else. If an up and coming director did this, we'll go, oh no, this is a stinker, right? Like no way. But with Christopher Nolan, it makes it all the more egregious, right? It's like, yeah, you definitely know better. So why aren't you doing better? Because this is really unacceptable, right? It's like, what's going on here? Because And that's what I say to, initially it's like, yeah, there's this be trying to placate the academy because you want another award. But, like, what's the point of, it's like you're going to run a race, right? A foot race, but you're going to use an electric scooter while everyone else runs, right? Why? Because you want the win. It's like, it's silly, right? That your credibility as a winner goes out the window. Right. So you won the race technically, but you won it through nefarious means. And that's kind of what's happening here. It's like you're just placating and, you're kind of kissing butt, to win this award or nomination, but you're doing it at the expense of making something of quality. Right? And it's not, and to be clear, the gripe against the casting and everything has nothing to do with, oh, we're just racist or something. It's like, no. It has to do with, like, better. Like, this is not accurate. This is not, and don't let people gaslight you into, well, it's not real. They're not real people. That's not the point, right? Someone posted a meeting of Black Panther as a Korean person, right? Because that's the point. Like, you would still have a problem. Black Panther's not a real person. Wakanda's not a real place, but you would be upset if they recasted T'Challa as a Korean man or a white man. Right? It's the same logic. Right? It's like it's absurd. It's silly. And so why would you condemn one and not the other? Right? You're kind of exposing your own hypocrisy, right? Because it tends to only go one way, and that's problematic. And see Christopher Nolan doing this, like I said, there's definitely some kind of agenda. What it is, I don't know. Maybe he's being paid. Maybe it's, he is trying to get nominated. But why would you care if you have to diminish your own project to get the award? Especially at this station in life where you've had this body of work that speaks for itself. That's lauded and applauded.
And a lot of the astroturfing that's being done for various awards is very obvious. I mean, the video game award stuff has not happened, but I already know which way it's going to go.
Yeah,
I can tell you right now, no real gamers care about video game awards.
Yeah,
that's true for a lot of stuff. Award shows are, at least in the current day and age, are meaningless. But nobody cares about video game awards, especially.
Right. But yeah,
especially since most of the people hosting it don't actually play video games.
Exactly. We see outlets that, Pragmatic did well, big hit with a lot of people, well reviewed, millions of dollars in sales, millions of players, and they give it IGN gives it a 6 out of 10. But Mixtape never broke 2,500 players. And is it really even a game? And it's
already on sale. IGN. And it's already on sale.
Yeah, it's already bargain bin.
Yeah. Do you know about Mixtape, Dad?
Yes.
Yeah. And you already know with the way IGN is trying to glow this up and giving it that perfect score that it's going to be not nominated for the awards and probably not is going to be left out in the cold.
And it's so blatant though. That's the problem. It's like you do realize we see, right? Like we see it's like the king has no clothes, right? And the king doesn't care. They don't care. He's going to keep strutting his stuff, and he doesn't care if people keep pointing out you're naked, right? And that's what's happening right now in these spaces. Is they're just plowing ahead and doing what they want to do, and they don't care that we notice that it's inauthentic, that it's fake. They don't care. And it's unfortunate, but it's true. It's like and I think some care and they want to care, but I think in many ways maybe they can't or something. They're just maybe they have this pressure or they're afraid to lose their job or position, or, so many don't say anything, and at least until they're sort of free. Like I've seen a few people like in the animation industry, come out and actually say, yeah, there was this big push for diversity, so you had to kind of artificially do these things to check these boxes, and but that was after the project's over and after they moved on to somewhere else that they finally made these comments. And I think that's the case with even in gaming. It's so sad.
Well, the big problem with mixtape isn't necessarily the diversity thing. And this is more of a this is a kind of a problem with a lot of games nowadays, is that they're slowly just turning into movies, for starters. Like, there's barely any gameplay for starters, in mixtape. Like, you could not press anything in the game and the game will just start playing itself. And there's no consequences to anything either. It's just a giant pretentious art piece about some Australian people trying to tell Americans what living in the 90s in America was like. And it's completely inaccurate.
Yeah, there's a strange movement to take the skill out of games. It's driving me nuts.
Really?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it's mostly just been, a lot of games, a lot of big budget games have just been, walking simulators with fancy cutscenes and stuff like that, as opposed to actually, challenging games and whatnot.
Well, there's even this one indie game recently. I forget its name, early forgettable, but they had just yesterday a big social media moment going on because they decided that if you use cheats, they call them assists. If you use cheats, you should still get the achievement. What? And they tried to frame it as an accessibility issue.
That defeats the purpose of achievements, then.
Yeah. Well, I love it when they frame it as an accessibility issue, because the next thing you know, everybody who actually has to use accessibility options like specialized controllers, different camera controls, things like that, to actually be able to play in the first place, will absolutely body them in the comments.
Yeah. What's funny is this reminds me of back when the whole conversation in regards to like fighting games was happening, and like, we should get rid of input commands because they're too hard and players don't like them. And it cuts to this clip. The video cuts to a clip of him teaching his dog how to do the Hadoken motion, and the dog pulls off the Hadoken, and it's like, my dog can do it, man. It's like, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
It's down, forward, and then the punch button. So it's just, people are willing. The thing is, people are willing to learn. Game. People are willing to learn your game if you give them a reason to. I was just hanging out with some family friends yesterday, and I introduced my friend's kid to a Super Mario Land on the Game Boy, and he's used to playing like Roblox and stuff like that. But as soon as I handed him, my Game Boy, in reality it was my iPhone with the emulator on it. But as soon as I handed him, my Game Boy, he just started figuring stuff out. He was like, "Oh, this is cool," and like I could tell. I didn't need to tell him anything. He just figured it out. Yeah. So it's like, kids are not stupid. They'll figure stuff out. Also, they're playing Roblox. They're playing, computer games.
Well, it's a matter of the actual, the reviewers and the press, that they aren't actual gamers, and they don't want games to be hard, right?
Right.
They want it to be set on easy mode all the time, and I don't want to have to figure things out. And that's a great game. That's a great game. A game that I don't have to figure anything out. I don't have to solve any puzzles. It just does.
I'm gonna use my brain. 10 out of 10.
That's really what it is, and it's become that over the years, and it's kind of like, does that kind of defeat the purpose of playing the game? You know, like I'm not saying the game has to be like super hard. I mean, some games are and it's fun, you know. But
there should be a variety. There should be easy.
yeah, exactly, and there is.
Should be
There is a
hardcore.
variety. Yeah,
But the problem is when the hardcore ones get popular, like Elden Ring, also they demand to have an easy mode.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
No,
exactly.
Get good at the game.
Like, don't exclude us terrible, lazy players. Don't exclude us. We want part of the fun, but we don't want to earn it. That's really all it is. Like, it's the same thing as the participation trophies. You know, in the early aughts in the '90s. You know, everyone got a ribbon or a trophy. You know, even though you sat on the bench the entire game.
Yeah, we honestly didn't value those. I was early enough that the participation trophies were only ribbons. It was a little bit behind me that they start actually giving out trophies.
Yeah.
You know what I did with those things? They were bookmarks. That was it.
Yeah.
I ended up getting whenever I got first place or second place ribbon, that went on the wall. Everything else got my place in a book.
Because it
might get lost at the library because I forgot to take it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, because
it's
something. Yeah, you worked for the first and second place, you know, but the partition one you didn't do anything. That's why you didn't value it.
Right.
And that's it. And that's the problem with, you know, demanding, like, easy mode is for beginners who are like, okay, let me get used to this game. Let's figure things out. It's not for, or maybe young kids, I don't know, but it's not for a regular gamer, like for regular gaming. It's not intended for these. It wasn't at first intended for them. You know, it's like eventually you want the challenges because that's the point of playing.
You know, it's funny games. You mentioned that. I remember that game South of Midnight that we talked about.
Yeah.
So I was in a Discord call with some people reviewing the game, and I was just eavesdropping because that's what I do.
That's what you
and
do.
And one person was like, "Oh, well, I didn't like the combat system, but luckily the game gave me an option to turn the combat off." And so once I did that, I was able to enjoy the game. And I was like, wait a minute. So you had to turn off the game.
That's hilarious. So once you turn the game off, I can enjoy the game. That's basically what
turn the game off, kind of like our internet connections have been going for all three of us.
I know. What's going on today?
It's just hit him again.
Guess he'll pop back in when he can. So, but yeah, it's very odd, and I think it's part of, like I said, my conspiracy brain says it's part of this grand, goal to just destroy what's good, destroy what's objectively good and healthy for all of us.
Well, mostly, I think that it's destroy whoever the people who want to destroy it can't control.
Yeah.
It's all about the control. It's not about.
Yeah, you're right. It is about control.
Yeah, it's not about the destruction or preservation of anything. It's I can't control this, therefore it should not exist.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, and I think that's true for many of these actors, these bad actors. Is they want to control it, and that's how they control it. Is to tear it down, to say you have to make it conform to my values, whatever. And those values are, it has to be easy. It has to be. It can't have challenges that I don't like. Things like that. Yeah, that's a very good point. It's just crazy, man. It's like that mentality is just hijacking entire industries. That's what's so wild about it. And I don't know. Like I said, thank God for the indie space. Thank God for indie creators, because there's real choices now. So, and it's all out there: games, comics, movies, you name it. It's all out there for us to enjoy, and it has nothing to do with the mainstream. And that's a good thing. So, I think the future is going to be. It's not about. There's going to be always breakout stuff. Stuff that goes global, stuff that hits a certain level of popularity, etc. But I think the future is definitely indie, and I think the future isn't about having a huge audience. It's about just having a core audience that supports what you're doing. And they're always coming back for more because you're always giving them something good and something quality and something they can engage in honestly and earnestly. And I think that's the key is find your audience, find people that love what you're doing. There was a book, I forgot what it was called. Oh, it was called Raging Fans. I think that's what it was called. It was one of those corporate books for sales and marketing and all that. And but one of the key points he made was, you got to create raving fans. People that just love you and they love what you're doing. They love the value that you're bringing to them. And those raving fans will go off and tell others and make them into raving fans. That's kind of what virality is on the internet. When something goes viral, it's because someone sees something and it's like, whoa, this is cool, or this is awesome, or this is funny, or this is crazy, right? And they share it, and they go, look at this, right? And then 10 or 20 or 100 more people do the exact same thing. Now it's viral. And I think that's, the future for a lot of us is it just takes that one thing, whether it's a book or a clip or, from one of our movies or something, or, to go viral, for someone to go, oh, that's pretty cool. And it's just snowballs after that. And I think that's what's beautiful about the landscape we have is anyone can do it. The barrier of entry is practically null. It's like if you're willing to put in the time and the effort, you can make something that people like and share it. And hopefully, a lot of people also like it and they'll support you, and thank God for crowdfunding and all that good stuff. So it's here and it's here to stay, I think. So just know we're the future, right? Indie creators, we're the future. So embrace it and love it and make the most of it. And Seth Engelhardt, thanks for joining us. And check out his campaign on Fund My Comic. It's live now. And let me go back and click the link here.
Thanks for having me once again.
Oh, thanks for being here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. And
Don't be a stranger.
I hope you can come back anytime, to promote your campaign, but also just to hang out and talk about whatever's, whatever floats your boat. Because it was great, man. It was nice to meet you. We're always welcome to guests, and I wish Ron could have joined us. He's the one that made us aware of you on X, and so I appreciate that. And the first time he was supposed to. He was supposed to join us. Was it last week or the week before when I first asked, and you weren't able to make it. And
that would have been last week, yeah.
Yeah, but he couldn't make it anyway, so he couldn't. So this week,
shame that topic he had about Angel Studios would have been one I would love to jump in on.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe next week we can talk about it again. Yeah. So, but hopefully get both of you guys back on, and that'll be fun. So, because he's great, he's very eloquent. I love when he goes off on his rants because he's very good and he makes a lot of great points. So, but yeah, check out fundmycomic.com, Crossbones Crew issue 1. It's live right now, and go support it. And let's make this happen for the Crossbones Crew. And thanks again, Seth Engelhardt. We appreciate you, and thanks for joining us. And that's all I have. So unless you have something else, Jerry, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. You got anything? Going once, going twice. All right. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a super galactic Saturday.
We'll see you around.